Hello, this is Virginia Kelly. I'm a healer, counselor, healthcare provider, coach, and educator. Today I want to talk about awakening because people ask me, what's this whole thing about? And one thing I want to say is we're not a body with a spirit, but a spirit with a body. And what awakens is us in this dimension because the spirit is already awakened. So how does it look like? It looks like opening your eyes and seeing. And what you see is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And most of us don't want to deal with the bad and the ugly, and that's understandable. But there's a common misconception, especially in the spiritual community, that by denying this, you advance in your path. And quite the opposite is true, because the bad and the ugly are there to be transmuted. But first, you need to acknowledge them. So, if you see the yin-yang symbol, where light and darkness complement each other, in the dark part there's a speck of light illuminating it for you to see it, because that which you don't see becomes your shadow, and there's nothing darker than that. So denial is rarely a path for awakening, much less in the spiritual path. So this doesn't mean that you have to indulge in darkness, unless you're a Scorpio, of course. And I'm not making fun of Scorpios. I'm a Scorp myself. And yes, we are the bug that sees in the dark. So we're ruled by Pluto, the Lord of Darkness. But darkness is that which also nurtures the seed, is the realm of the unconscious, that software that runs this hardware, is the realm beyond the veil, that which we cannot see, where the spirit resides, the spirit who is awakened. So we shouldn't be so scared of darkness. Now, if the forest is being hidden by the proverbial tree, you know that probably you're not seeing the light, so you have to step back to get a bigger picture. In today's climate, with so much information, misinformation, conflicting information, how you navigate those waters. A lot of us like to rely on reliable sources, but we just need to go down memory lane to remember how we've been deceived. And that's why I like to call the media the weapons of mass distraction. So how do? You have to have an inquisitive mind and ask yourself some questions, what they want me to believe when they're telling me this, and why, what's the agenda, what they're not saying when they're saying this. It's a little bit of reading between the lines and listen to the silence to identify that kernel of truth. And when you resonate with that truth, by all means, be a bearer of light. What does this mean? Is to share that information, because each one teach one. Now, don't expect to always be welcome, because you're gonna find some resistance, especially if it's what you have to share is an inconvenient truth, and nothing more than an inconvenient truth to push for awakening. And awakening is not necessarily a comfortable process. I like to press the snooze button on the alarm when it's at 6 a.m. because I like to sleep until 8, and that's my timing. So when someone resists you, don't think that they're resisting you in as much as they're defending themselves. Is a defense mechanism, because they might not be ready. But before you think of giving up because you don't want them to kill the messenger, think that you're planting a seed, and a seed needs time to bear its fruit. So if that truth is meant to go back to that person, the second time is not going to be that foreign, and by the third time it might be more familiar, and they might want to look into it or not, but that's their free will. In the meantime, sharing is caring, so that's what I'm trying to do here. So by all means, press like, subscribe, share, ring the bells for notification. If you want a private session, my website is below, virginiakelly.com. And if you want access to exclusive contact, I have my Patreon account, because these free platforms are sponsoring determined content. So that's it for today. See you next week. Thanks.